for a deal, a 4-year deal, that is beyond my wildest optimism. From CJ, which stands for Cute Journalist, and also Chris Johnston, John Tavares signs a 4-year contract, $4.38 million per. Man, listen, okay, I know there's a lot of doom. There's a lot of gloom in Leafs Nation, I understand. I have been pretty pessimistic about them, actually, since they lost again. Okay, leave it all behind for a second. Leave the team out of it, leave the name out of it, leave everything out of it. Here's the information you have. There's a free agent. They're 34. And in September, they'll be 35. So for the beginning of next season's purposes, he's 35. Do you want to sign him in free agency? Ooh, I don't know. It's kind of old. How'd he do last season? Great question. He had 38 holy smoking goals and 74 holy smoking points in 75 holy smoking games. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like a pretty good player. Okay. What position does he play? Glad you asked. He's a center. Oh, that works out because we need a center. Yeah, you do! Yeah, but would he come here? He's from here, lives here, and badly wants to stay here. Well, he's probably gonna ask for a lot of money. He might honestly be leaving 8 digits on the table. Was he a Leaf last year? What? Yes. Then, no, that's a crazy thing to think! Dude, I don't need to tell you about who John Tavares is. You know who John Tavares is. I'm gonna take this off. I don't know why I feel like it's making me hot. It's the jersey that's making me hot. You know what? I'm gonna put it back on. No, I'm in too good of a mood. I don't need to tell you who John Tavares is, okay? He's 35. We know that. The Leafs haven't won with him. We know that. He's part of the infamous Core 4. We know that. And I'm here to tell you, that's over. The Core 4 is over. It's done. What do you mean it's done? He's still here. Well, for one, Mitch Marner's gone, and now there's 3. You can't have a Core 4 with 3. And why were they called the Core 4 anyway? Because they all made $11 million or more! Except for Marner, who made a hair less. Dude, Brock Nelson just signed a 3-year deal for $7.5 million per season. He had 12 fewer goals than John Tavares, 6 fewer assists than John Tavares, 18 fewer points than John Tavares, and more games than John Tavares. He's a year younger. That's it. John Tavares scored 38, oh my goshing goals last season. If he goes to the open market on July 1st, he's getting caked. He's getting so much money. He could have got 8, according to Pierre LeBrun, for at least a couple years. If he's willing to go down to 7.5, maybe decide to be a commoner, to be a peasant, and get $7 million, he could have done that. But he's here. He's here for 4.38. I'm sorry. That's not a member of the Core 4. John Tavares made $11 million last year. That's what made him part of the Core 4, along with his importance to the team, but also how much of the cap he took up. He is making over $6.6 million less than that this upcoming season. This deal friggin' rules! Well, he shouldn't be a second-line center anymore. He should only be a third-line center with the money. You could go out and spend that 6.6 on a second-line center. Also, it bears repeating because not enough people are acknowledging this. He scored 38 goals! Now, this is going to fly in the face of some of the things that have been said, some of them by me, about not running it back and how running it back would be insane. The reason I said that is running it back would be insane. But by bringing John Tavares back, who scored 38 holy smoking goals, even in his worst season as a Leaf, this would be a steal of a contract. Steal of a contract. He scored 38 holy smoking goals at under $4.5 million per season? You have to do it. I think the Leafs should move on from Mitch Marner, for example, and part of that is because he's going to make somewhere between $12 and $14 million. That's insane. But if he showed up and was like, fellas, I'll come back for 6, I'd be like, Brad, sign the kid now. It doesn't appear he's doing that. But John Tavares already has. Here's why I'm so excited about this, and I tried to raise alarm bells about this last offseason. Go back mentally. Go back to about a year ago, Leafs Nation. It's not an awesome mood. Like, Kyle Dubas has been gone for over a year. Sheldon Keefe is gone now as well. There's a lot of question marks. You just lost in the first round again to Boston again with a third period lead in Game 7 in Boston again. But here's what it looks like your offense is going to be next season. Your group of forwards. It looks like it's going to be virtually the same, except you lose Tyler Bertuzzi. Nick Robertson is asked for a trade. And a number of the forwards you are keeping are getting raises. Austin Matthews 11.63, whatever it was. Guess what? 13.25 now. William Nylander, 6.9 whatever million he was making. Guess what? 11.5 now. Even the smaller ones, Max Domi, 3 million up to 3.75. The really small ones, Bobby McMahon, you're at like league minimum. Well, now you're 1.35. The Leafs were going into next season with a virtually identical forward group that was more expensive. And the amount of money that it went up did not keep up with the amount that the salary cap was going up. It was a problem. And if you don't get a 69 goal performance out of Auston Matthews, you're going to have trouble. And oh, look at that. The dude is in Europe like a month and a half into the season, getting who knows what treatment on who knows what. Now, luckily, they played a little different. They got some really good goaltending. They got some really good defense. They got some extremely good performances out of William Nylander and Mitch Marner and John Tavares. They weathered the storm, but the exact same thing that I was warning about, that I was worried about, turned out to be pretty legit. Here's what's happening now. You're losing Mitch Marner for nothing, and you got to replace him. That sucks. That is really, really bad. There's nothing I'm going to say that's going to make that good. I don't care how badly you want him gone. Losing him for nothing is insanely bad. You can't justify that. But is Matthews getting a raise this season? No. Is Nylander getting a raise this season? No. Is Domi getting a raise this season? No. Matthew Knies is. That's going to be a big one. That's going to hurt. He's going to go from like 950,000 to 7 million, 8 million. The sheer amount of money the Leafs are going to save on John Tavares from last year's cap hit to next year's cap hit is going to virtually negate the raise that Matthew Knies is going to get. We don't know how long it's going to be or how much it's going to be, but it's either going to more than cover it or mostly cover it. All while the salary cap is going up by way more than it did the previous year. Are there still some moving parts? Sure. You still got some concerns? Lots! Is your brain just utterly calloused and scarred from trauma? Sure is. But 4.38 million for a player who is, yeah, kind of getting up there, kind of old, but still this good is insanity. This upcoming season, an unbelievable amount of things would have to go wrong for him to not be worth at least 4.38 million. If he got demoted to third line center somehow, he would still be probably more than worth $4.38 million against the cap. As he ages, I imagine he won't get better. But guess what the salary cap is going to do? It's going to shoot to the moon! And the amount, the percentage against your salary cap that $4.38 million is going to be going forward, by the end of his contract, it's just going to go down and down and down. The impact of that number will diminish as John diminishes. Assuming he diminishes. This guy has a kombucha friggin' keg in his house. And we can't forget the amulet. Now, there is some wizardry in all this. Because as Chris Johnston reported, John Tavares' contract includes $2 million in deferred compensation. A mechanism that will be outlawed in the new CBA in 26-27. Oh, this is my favorite part. So, Tavares would have been making $4.5 million, but I mean, whatever. Any discount is good. So we learned a little bit about deferred salary this past season. Here's a layman's way of describing it. I'm the layman. Listen, this is dumb and shouldn't be allowed, and it's okay to me that the league is outlawing it. But here's the thing. Teams take advantage of stuff all the time. Little loopholes. There's a reason they got to keep figuring out and finagling with the rules. And right now, you think I'm about to talk about the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights and all these no-tax state teams. Well, yeah, they're annoying too, but nothing is going to happen regarding that. No one's going to do anything. The dynasty, if you will, Chicago Blackhawks of the early 2010s were built on two illegal contracts that were not illegal because when they were signed, they were legal. But they won 3 cups during the early 2010s, and during 2 of those cup runs, they had 2 deals that were, at the time, illegal. Duncan Keith and Marian Hossa were on wildly incredible cap hits for that whole run, for their whole tenure with the Chicago Blackhawks. And the reason is the contracts were meant to go on for years and years and years. Right now, you can only sign a maximum of 7 years in free agency, or you can sign 8 years with the team you're currently on. So like Trent Frederick just signed for 8 years. William Nylander signed for 8 years last year. As a UFA, the max is 7. They're going to reduce that from 6 in free agency and 7 with the team you're re-signing with. It's still going down. Keith and Hossa were from the era of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year contracts. Sometimes I forget how young someone might be watching this. Look up Rick DiPietro's contract. Rick DiPietro, the analyst, exactly. It's 15 years long! Now that one didn't work out. But Hossa's and Keith's super did, and the Blackhawks had 2 deals that after 2012, you weren't allowed to sign. They went on to have one of the most OP seasons of all time in 2013, where they almost didn't lose at all, and then they won again in 2015 with Keith and Hossa on that team. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and the Stanley Cup winner almost every year is the team that tries the hardest, if you know what I mean. Deferred salary contracts have been legal this whole time! Remember how I said if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying? That was a compliment! The Leafs haven't been cheating nearly enough! A hot dog and beer are $40! A ticket is like $500 for a regular season game! Use the money, you dolts! And they finally said, okay, you know what? That's a good point. And they signed Jake McCabe to a deferred salary contract. So if you look at Jake McCabe's contract and you go, hey, that's pretty good. Deferred salary is part of the reason why. Same with John Tavares. Here's what it is. They say, hey, after your contract's done, we'll pay you this money, like a couple million, whatever it is. Oh, okay. So like once John Tavares stops playing for the Leafs and once Jake McCabe stops playing for the Leafs, does that like $2 million go on the Leafs cap? Nope. So it's just money that isn't represented in the salary cap at all? Nope. And this has been legal for years and years and decades. Yep. And teams haven't been using it. Barely, yeah. There's been like, I don't know, two. Well, this past season, I don't know, there's like maybe 4 now or 5. Why haven't the Leafs been doing this the whole time? Because it probably would have been made illegal sooner. Well, guess what? It's not illegal until 26, 27. You listen to me. Keith Pelly, Ed Rogers, whoever the brains and brawn are at the top of the ownership of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, I want Steven friggin' Lorentz to get a salary deferred contract. I want everybody! Use your financial might! Use your brains! Use anything within the rules that you can to win. Because there are 31 other teams, at very least one in your division, that are doing those things. Stop complaining about no state income tax. Okay, great. So when the Leafs sign like 20 of these things over the next year, I don't want to hear it. What are you complaining about? It's legal. It's totally fine. Well, next year they won't be legal. Well, I guess after this year, we'll have to stop. But until then, I am not kidding. Every free agent they sign this offseason should have deferred salary if they're willing to accept it. There's reasons why you don't do it. Do you want the money now or later? Exactly. But John Tavares is willing to take it later. And like the dude has made over $100 million over his career. Like I don't think he's in the poorhouse or anything. But doesn't matter. There are plenty of players in NHL history that could have taken less money and very didn't. Or they did, and it wasn't this. Tavares could have gone into free agency, according to Pierre LeBrun, and made $8 million per season. He could have made almost as much in 2 years as the Leafs are paying him in 4. He wants to be a Leaf. He wants to be here. He wants to be part of this, whatever this is. I know some people from day one were not digging John Tavares. $11 million. And the whole decision to go out and get him. No matter how good he was. He had 47 goals his first year here. He has been a very consistent good Leaf. Sometimes his goal scoring, dips at ebbs and flows, but his points per season are just, his points per game, I should say. Because he's played in 2 COVID-shortened seasons, 1 recovering from a head, neck, and knee injury. He's been so steady as she goes. Dude, last year was one of the best seasons of his career. You know how many times he scored more than 38 goals in a season? Once! He scored 47 with the Leafs and 1 time with the Islanders. He also scored 38, and that was a very long time ago. No word of a lie. He should be one of the most popular Leafs right now. If not, I'd like to know what else you want from the guy. Well, I want the team to win. Dude, me too. I got news for you. If they don't win going forward, it won't be because John Tavares is here making 4.38. Dude, if he switched to wing full-time at 4.38, he would still be worth it. John Tavares is a Leaf, and this shows to me he was always a Leaf. I hope he retires a Leaf, and I hope he's able to get certain things done as a Leaf. He deserves it. We deserve it more. The fans will always deserve it more. But I cannot, never in a million years did I think he was taking under $4.5 million for 4 years. If he took 4.5, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Is it 6 or 7? It's not too long. It's not too expensive. He's a good player. Plays a position that the Leafs need. What am I missing? God, I love him. I love him. I love him. I love you, John. You should too. My friends, that is it for this one. Tonight, I gotta stop shooting. Tonight, I'm going down to the SDPN studios to shoot stream. We're gonna stream the whole first round of the draft. I don't know what else we're gonna do because I got a Noah Dobson trade video that broke in the middle of all this. This is insane. Oh, he signed an extension too? Cool. All right, well, this is insane. I'm gonna go shoot all that. Holy cow. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. John Tavares is a Leaf.